All right, today we're diving deep into a book that has, no joke, changed a lot of lives. Michael Singer's The Untethered Soul. We're going to break down its core message, which is all about finding this incredible inner freedom. You know, a kind of peace that maybe feels impossible right now, but stick with me, because it might be way closer than you think. So, let's get real for a second. Ever feel like there's a roommate living inside your head? One that just never shuts up? Yeah, that one. The one that's constantly critiquing, worrying, planning, judging. Well, that's exactly where we're starting, because Michael Singer poses this one absolutely radical question. What if that voice isn't actually you? Okay, so our first section is all about this, the voice inside your head. Let's get to know this inner roommate a little better. So here's the thing. For most of us, our entire lives, we've thought that this voice is us. We assume its constant chatter is our identity. Its anxieties, our anxieties. Its judgments, our judgments. But Singer says, hold on a second. He argues that this one single mix-up, this case of mistaken identity, is the root cause of so much of our stress and suffering. And that, right there, leads us to what he calls the great discovery. This is really the heart of the whole thing. So, if you are not your thoughts, then who in the world are you? Let's break this down. It's like there are two different things going on. On one hand, you've got the inner voice. That's all the chaos, the constant chatter, the fears, the judgments. But on the other hand, there's the real you. And who is that? It's the silent observer, the one who is aware of all that noise. You're not the voice, you're the one listening to the voice. Huge difference, right? And this idea has a name. It's called the witness consciousness. Look, this isn't some weird, far-out concept. It's actually super practical. It's the part of you that is simply aware of your thoughts and feelings without getting tangled up in them. Think about it like this. Instead of being the main character completely lost in the drama of a movie, you suddenly realize you're actually sitting in the audience, just watching it all play out on the screen of your mind. Okay, so once you realize you're the witness, what do? Well, that brings us to our next part, the power of letting go. This is all about learning how to stop fighting with, well, everything. I love this quote because it gets right to the point. Think about it. It's not the traffic that makes you furious, right? It's your resistance to it. It's that inner voice screaming, I shouldn't be here. Same with a breakup. The pain often comes from clinging to what's gone. See, the events themselves are just events. It's our internal battle against reality that creates almost all of our suffering. So, how do we get into this flow? Singer lays out 3 key principles. First, freedom from attachment. This just means you stop trying to desperately hold on to the good stuff and frantically push away the bad stuff. You just let it come and go. Second, and this is huge, keep your heart open. You know that tight feeling in your chest when you get hurt or angry? That's you closing up. The practice is to consciously relax and let that energy move through you. And finally, spiritual surrender. Don't let the words scare you. It just means trusting the flow of life a bit more and realizing you don't have to micromanage the entire universe. All right. Theory is great, but how do we actually start doing this stuff in our day-to-day lives? Well, that's what this next section is all about. Your Inner Freedom Action Plan. Let's get practical. Okay, here are 2 super simple practices you can literally start today. First one, mindful observation. Just for 5 minutes, sit and watch your thoughts. Don't judge them, don't follow them, just watch them drift by like clouds. And every now and then, ask yourself, who is it that's noticing this thought? Just asking that question, it creates this little bit of space. It's amazing. Second practice, conscious release. Next time you feel upset, anxious, whatever, instead of fighting it, just notice where in your body you feel that tightness, your chest, your stomach, and then just consciously try to relax that spot. That's it. You're letting the emotion pass through you instead of getting stuck inside you. Okay, that sounds nice and all, but what about in real life? You know, when things get crazy and stressful, how does this actually work? Okay, picture this. You're at work, you're totally slammed, and that inner voice starts screaming, I can't handle this is too much. Now, the old you would have totally bought into that panic, but the new you can take a breath, step back, and just notice it. Oh, there's that thought again. You see, it's just commentary, not a fact. And from that calm place of being the witness, you can choose how you actually want to respond. And in relationships, oh man, this is a total game changer. Think about it. When someone is talking to you, instead of having your inner voice just planning your comeback or judging what they're saying, what if you could just be quiet inside? What if you could just be a completely open, present space for them? You could actually listen. It changes everything about how you connect with people. This even works for making big decisions. It becomes like your own internal compass. You can just ask yourself a simple question. Is this choice coming from a place of fear? Am I trying to control everything and resist what's happening? Or is this choice flowing with life? Does it feel open and expansive? It helps you see clearly whether fear or wisdom is in the driver's seat. So, as you can see, this goes way beyond just a few cool tricks to manage stress. This brings us to our final section, living the untethered life. It's really about a complete and total shift in how you see, well, everything. So what's the end result of all this? What's the transformation? Well, you go from being in this constant reactive, fearful state to a state of real awareness and peace. You stop being a prisoner of your own mind and you become the free observer of it. And instead of constantly suppressing your emotions or being overwhelmed by them, you learn to let that energy just flow right through you. The result? A life that's just lighter, more joyful, more free. And that really brings us to the big final question. Just think about this for a second. If you really truly stopped fighting with reality, if for one day you didn't resist anything that happened, what would happen next? What kind of space would that open up in your life? That's the journey the Untethered Soul invites you to take.